If you aren't happy with where you are in your acting career, then watch this video to learn the 7 things you can focus on to help kickstart your career and keep it constantly moving forward in a positive direction. I've made my living as a TV and film actor for over 10 years, but I spent years before that struggling to break into the industry. I did every stupid thing an actor can do to waste time and money. Fortunately, I eventually found successful mentors who guided me on the right path. I want to help you avoid the costly mistakes I made so you don't spend years focused on the wrong things like I did. But before you take acting advice from anyone on the internet, including me, you should look up their credits on IMDb and watch their demo reel to make sure they have the work experience to qualify them to be offering advice. Links to my IMDb and demo reel are in the description below. I've coached hundreds of actors through the years who've come to me because they weren't happy with how their acting careers were going. In every single case, I found they were overlooking at least one of the 7 key elements to building a successful acting career. Number 1, powerful mindset. This is by far the most important element necessary to becoming a long-term successful working actor. If I could go back in time, I would have spent the first year of my acting journey focused exclusively on developing the correct mindset for success. Your level of success depends almost entirely on your beliefs. So, what constitutes a powerful mindset? You must believe that you are enough. Before I walk onto any set, before I go into an audition or into a callback, I always say to myself, I am enough. To remind myself that wherever I'm at, that moment is good enough. All I have to do is bring me into that situation. Confidence. Confidence is a critical component to a powerful, success-oriented mindset. Confidence makes others feel at ease. This business is filled with a lot of people who are very worried about losing money. So you as an actor need to do your auditions, your callbacks, and your performances when you walk on set. Do it with confidence. Make those who are risking tons of money feel at ease with your ability to do your job. Positivity. Being positive is a critical part of having a powerful, success-oriented mindset. You must cultivate an expectation of success. You have to do this in the face of what seems like a ton of rejection, especially at the beginning of your career. You know, you're going to be auditioning, and first you probably won't book a lot of the things you audition for, but you still have to stay positive. And every single time you do those auditions, you have to feel like this is the one. And if you don't get it, you move on and don't spend any time being negative and thinking about what you didn't get. You have to believe that you deserve to be on set, working with major movie stars in big budget films and hit TV shows. And I'll tell you, when I first decided I wanted to become a TV and film actor, I signed up and did 1 day of extra work. And it's the 1 day of extra work I've done my entire life. And it was on a Tom Cruise film. This extra told me he would love to act in a Tom Cruise film. And I remember telling him that I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to sell out. I wanted to focus on little art house theater films. Films that mattered, films that moved people, films that changed the world. I was lying to him. I was also lying to myself. Because at the core of it, I didn't believe that I had what it took to walk the 40 feet from where I was standing to stand next to Tom Cruise and actually act opposite him. I had to fix my mindset before I was able to eventually work with Tom Cruise. You must destroy negative thoughts about yourself and others. So often we say things to ourselves, about ourselves, that if we saw someone doing that to a little child, we'd step in to defend that child. Get used to stepping in and defending yourself from yourself. This is a big one. You are not a victim. I have never met anyone with a victim mindset who became successful. The biggest obstacle to you reaching your dreams is you. As soon as you accept that, as soon as you accept that where you are in life is determined by the actions you took and the mindset you have, that'll give you the power to change where you are and to get to where you want to be. However, if you believe that you're a victim, that you're being blown around by the forces of life, it is going to be extraordinarily hard for you to be successful. You need to learn to look at every setback or failure as a learning opportunity. We're all going to fail. We're all going to screw up because we're human. The key is learn from those failures and try not to do the same failure twice. Learn to enjoy every step of the journey without obsessing over results. The results will happen. Have fun. If you don't want to have fun, become an accountant or a lawyer or, I don't know, lots of jobs out there that don't seem very fun to me. Acting should be fun. You don't have to be the tortured artist that's beating themselves up and never having a good time. I can tell you, I have fun every single day of my life now, and I can't say that that was the case before I became a full-time actor. There are several books you can read to help you achieve a powerful mindset. The first, and this is my favorite book on acting, is New Thoughts for Actors by Jack Plotnick. If you go to www.jackplotnick.com, you can download this ebook, and I can promise you it will change your life. I have read hundreds of books on acting, and this is my favorite. It's also free. The first several chapters of the book, Jack gives actors concrete steps to help them deal with negative self-talk, negativity, and how to create this sense of positivity and well-being and help just really, really get inside of you the idea that you can do it. I've actually given this book to people who aren't actors, just folks who are struggling with depression or struggling with negative self-image. And I told them, just read the first few chapters. And they did so, and the tools were extraordinarily helpful. I followed the tools in this book, and it was literally life-changing. Another great book is The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. This book gives concrete steps with morning rituals, daytime rituals, evening rituals, things that you can do to constantly work on making a powerful mindset. It's much like going to the gym to work out your physical body. You need to constantly work on honing and building a powerful, success-oriented mindset. Just reading the books isn't enough. You have to actually take the action, the steps that are listed in the books. And the final book that I think is really useful is Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. This book is all about learning to take ownership of your own life, to take responsibility for your actions, and to understand that wherever you are in life, you made an appointment to be there. Now, this book isn't about acting at all, but I've given this book to many people, usually folks who have a victim mindset, who feel that everyone's out to get them, folks who feel like they have no control over their destiny. I give them this book. The book is phenomenal to help you get rid of those very limiting mindsets and take on an ownership of your destiny. Because once you can embrace the fact that you got you where you are in life, then you can get yourself out of that situation and into the situation that you want to be in. Achieving a powerful winning mindset isn't easy, and it doesn't happen overnight. But with consistent daily work, it will happen. I promise you. Know your brand. What is an actor's brand? It is not something you create. It is something you discover. It is what people who don't know you feel in their gut about you when they first meet you. It is your essence, what you give off without trying. Now, this is something you can't learn from your mom or your best friend or your coworkers who all know you, because branding, your essence, is deeper than that, right? It's not necessarily the truth of who you are. It's the energy you give off and how people perceive you. Keep in mind that the people who cast us, generally speaking, the directors, the producers, the network and studio execs, don't know us. They don't know the real us. What they know is what we give off on camera. You need to figure out what that is. Now, understand that type is different than brand. I often hear people refer to their brand, and what they're actually referring to is their type. Type is almost always physical characteristics. You're tall and good looking. You're short and not attractive. You have a lot of hair. You're bald. You're a brunette. You're a redhead. You're black. You're white. You're Asian. These are things that simply describe how the character looks. But you can have actors with the same type, but they can have very different brands. There's an actor that I'm good friends with who, he looks very similar to me, right? He kind of scruffy looking. If you run into him out in the grocery store, he looks like he just rolled out of bed, which is exactly how I look most of the time. But part of his brand is he's the lovable loser, right? That is not my brand at all. So even though we look similar, the energy that we give off is very different. Now, some people have types that are very different, but brands that are very similar. So I have a good friend who's a very successful actor, and he and I look nothing alike. Physically, we're very different, but our brands are very similar. And part of his brand is he often plays characters who have to hurt people. And part of my brand is I often play characters who want to hurt people. Those are very similar brands, so we audition for a lot of the same roles, even though physically our type is totally different. Once you understand the essence, the energy that you give off without trying, what you're going to do is make sure all your auditions need your essence. So that when you go on tape or you walk in the room or you walk on the set, all you have to do is bring your natural self, understanding what that comes across as, and let that shine. I often do interviews where the interviewer asks me what's my approach to acting or to playing a particular role. I always tell them the same thing. I just bring me. Actors reach out all the time asking how they can stand out in an audition. I always give them the same answer. Bring you. Your loves, your hates, your prejudices, your bright spots, your blemishes. All of these things that make up you come together to create this wonderful, unique human being that's utterly unique. There's not another you in the world. Bringing you and your brand ensures your audition will be unique and honest. Now, the way I like to look at auditions, just theoretically, is I have this bowl of amazing, gorgeous oranges. And my job is to walk into rooms, put those oranges on the table, show them what I have, and try to sell my oranges. Well, what often happens is an actor will get an audition, they'll look at the character description, and they'll say to themselves, oh man, I think they're looking for apples. So they take their beautiful, gorgeous, delicious oranges and they spray paint them red. Now, if the actor's right and they actually are looking for apples, who's gonna book the job? The guy who walks in with delicious, beautiful, authentic apples. Now, here's the deal. I always show them my oranges every single time, even if I think they're looking for apples. That way, when I leave the room after my audition, they say, wow, that guy's got some great oranges. We don't need them yet. But in a month or two, when they need my oranges, they give me a call so I can come in and show them what I have. They don't call the other guy in because all they know about him is he has really shitty apples. So I urge you, figure out what your brand is and then deliver it in every single audition and performance that you do. Back at the beginning of my career, when I was going to a lot of in-person auditions and not booking, I remember I'd walk in there and I'd sit in the waiting room and I'd start looking around the room at a lot of guys who looked very similar to me. But I would start casting these other guys in the role before I even did my audition. I would look over and say, oh my God, that guy's a lot taller than me. Or, that guy's more muscular, more handsome. Or, oh my gosh, I saw that guy say 2 lines in a TV show last week. I gave up my power. I gave up my uniqueness before I ever even walked in the room to meet with the casting director and do my audition. Once I understood what my brand is and that what I offer is utterly unique and special, I stopped doing that. Imagine there are a group of folks sitting outside of an art dealer's office. They're all holding copies of the Mona Lisa. Now, one of these Mona Lisas is massive. Another has this beautiful, intricate gold frame. Another studded with diamonds. One has really cool neon lights that flash on and off. They're all very, very bright. But you're sitting there holding the real Mona Lisa. Now, who has the power when all of these folks walk into the art dealer's office? The person with the real Mona Lisa. Authenticity resonates. Understanding your brand, understanding what it is that you naturally give off is going to allow you to bring truthfulness to every audition. And I can promise you, other actors may be bigger, flashier, they may have neon lights going, but your simple, quiet authenticity will resonate. Number 3, a powerful marketing campaign. Any successful company markets its products and services to possible customers. How do you book a lot of roles? Get a lot of auditions. How do you get lots of auditions? The casting directors need to know who you are and what you offer. My goal with marketing is for casting directors to read the breakdown in the script and to immediately think to themselves, oh my gosh, Mark would be amazing for this. Let's call him in. That's your job for marketing. You want casting directors to know who you are, to know your name, and to know what it is that you offer that's special and unique. Marketing never stops. You're going to market to agents to get repped. You're going to market to casting directors to get auditions. You're going to market to directors and producers to get hired. And eventually you're going to market to audiences to build star power. All of your marketing materials should reflect your brand. Your headshots, your demo reel, your postcards, your actors access images and videos, your IMDb images and videos, your electronic press kit, and your social media. If you don't have a powerful marketing campaign, you are limiting your ability to grow your career. Your headshots should look exactly like you and reflect aspects of your brand. I know an actor who has headshots that look 20 years younger than the way they look in real life. And they complain to me that they get lots of auditions, but they never get bookings and they never get callbacks. The reason, their headshots are getting them the wrong auditions. Instead of auditioning for the character that's right for them, appropriate age for them, they're auditioning for a character that's 20 years younger. They'll never book a job doing that. And then I'm presuming that the cast directors are probably not super happy about being lied to, because that's what a headshot that doesn't look like you does. It lies to you. I'm going to be releasing a video soon on how to do marketing with postcards, but there's lots of different types of marketing that you should be engaging in all of them, because to sell your product, you got to market your product. Number 4, audition technique. You must learn to deliver powerful, compelling self-tape auditions. You can be a great actor in acting class, but if you can't deliver your acting through the lens of a camera, you will not succeed. Get in an audition class taught by actors who are currently booking jobs through self-tape auditions. I ask myself one question before every audition. What sounds fun to me? That's it. I never worry about what they are looking for, because I can't know what they are looking for. Instead, I look at it as my job to show them what they need. You should get the equipment and learn how to tape your own auditions. This is going to be much cheaper in the long run. Now, when you're starting out, you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of expensive equipment. Most people have cell phones with a camera on them that will work just fine. You can get some simple lights, and you can buy a sheet from Walmart to hang up behind you on the wall for a backdrop. But if you're getting 3 to 5 auditions a week and you're paying someone $30 to $70 per audition, that's going to add up very, very fast. So I always urge actors, even ones that I help out with their auditions, to try to be able to do them on your own. Now, if you get some huge audition that's a career changer, then you may want to go to an acting coach that can guide you in the audition itself, but learn how to do them on your own. I know the new SAG rules say you don't have to memorize your auditions, but I think you're putting yourself at a great disadvantage if you're holding your sides during your audition. Your auditions must be lit well and sound good. I try to light and frame my auditions to match the genre of the project and the character. For a comedy, I use flat, even lighting across my face. For drama, I usually use tighter framing, and I use shadows to affect the emotional intensity of a scene. The more intense the scene or the character, the more intense I make the shadows. Now, if you're perfect for the role, you can tape your audition in front of your shower curtain in your bathroom and probably book it. And if you're wrong for the role, it doesn't matter how great the technical looks or sounds, you won't book the job. But in the real world, there's usually 3 to 5 actors who could possibly do the role, and they can only pick one. Help increase the odds you're the one they pick by making the technical aspects of your audition look and sound great. And also learn how to translate your acting through the prism of a camera. You have to get rid of all the little tics that a lot of new actors do on camera that will keep them from ever booking a big job. Number 5, professionalism. Be easy to work with. People want to work with people they like. Before I walk on any set, I think to myself, Mark, be the least pain in the ass of any actor on the set today. Having this mindset has been very helpful in my career. I booked small parts in films and had my role expanded greatly. And I booked roles in TV shows where they kept bringing me back in additional episodes because I was likable and easy to work with. Now, how to look like a professional. Be on time. Know your lines. Be where you're supposed to be. Don't make them have to find you when they need you. If you have to run to your car for something or go to the bathroom, let the second AD know where you will be. You never know. You might be thinking they're not going to shoot your scene for another 2 hours. Something happens last minute. They flip the schedule around and they need you immediately. So just be findable. Do not be a fan. Be a colleague. I've had the opportunity to work with many A-list actors, and I treat them exactly the same way I treat everyone else on set, with respect. Don't be weird or hard to work with. Don't complain. If there's a real issue that endangers you, then call your agent. If someone's being inappropriate, call your agent. But the number of times I've been on set and an actor starts to complain about craft services or the lunch that day, or the size of their trailer. I always remind them that 5 years earlier, they wish they had had the role that they had right now, and they probably would have done it for free and slept in their car in the parking lot to be able to do it. It's so easy for us to take things for granted after we have them for a little while. I urge you not to do that. Learn to be appreciative and grateful on set, and I can guarantee you the producers, the director, and the crew is going to notice that. Don't gossip or cause drama. The only drama should be in front of the camera. Don't expect others to hold your hand and explain everything to you. Be grown up. Take responsibility for yourself. Be kind to everyone. Treat the PAs, the extras, and the crew members the same way you treat the director and the huge star, with kindness and respect. When you get to base camp, follow the directions of the second AD. If they need you to get into wardrobe and go through hair and makeup immediately, do it without delay. When you're on set performing, don't be that desperate actor who needs constant affirmation from the director. Just do the scene. If they need something different, they'll tell you. Don't finish a scene and rush over to the director waiting for them to tell you how amazing you did. The only thing you need to hear that says you did a great job is moving on to the next scene. Number 6, have a great agent who's excited about you and understands what you offer. If you don't have an agent, work on getting one. If you have an agent but you aren't getting auditions, first determine if you're doing all the things you can do to market yourself. If you're doing your job but they aren't doing theirs, find a new agent. Your agent should be on the same page as you regarding your future business goals. If your agent only sees you as a co-star actor, but you know you have what it takes to be a guest star, you need a new agent. It is better to be repped by a mid-level agent who is excited about you than it is to be repped by a top-level agent that isn't. You should get an agent to rep you in any market you're willing to travel to. LA, New York, the Southeast, Chicago, New Orleans, New Mexico, Texas. Wherever you're willing to go to and pay for the trip there and put yourself up, get an agent there. I'll be releasing a video soon about how to get the perfect agent for you. Number 7, acting ability. You can work professionally without great acting talent. Keanu Reeves proves that with every movie he does. And he makes $20 million a film. So, if you can deliver 2 lines on camera and sound like a real human being, you can start working. $200 million films need actors to say 2 lines. Might as well be you. As you train and grow as an actor, you can increase the size of your roles. You should be training. Scene study, on-camera acting, audition technique, improv. You should be constantly training until you start working professionally. Taking a one-day workshop every few months isn't enough. It's like going to the gym one day every 6 weeks. You need to be consistently working to build your craft. When I moved to LA to start pursuing acting, I was in acting class 3 nights a week and 2 to 3 classes on the weekends. I was constantly trying to learn and grow my craft. Now, as I said earlier, I should have been working on my mindset because that ended up being a much bigger impediment to my success than my acting talent. But you should be constantly studying. If you don't have the money for classes, then get together with a group of actor friends and do scenes together on camera and critique each other in a loving and kind way. You should be working. Act on set as often as possible. You should be acting in short films, student films, self-produced films, low-budget, terrible feature films that you hope no one will ever see. What we do as an actor in a student film is exactly what we do in a $50 million film. One of the first big-budget films I ever worked on was Free State of Jones. And I had a scene in this movie with Mahershala Ali. And we were doing the scene in the middle of a cotton field with, there was 75, 100 crew members there. And the director wanted to do a shot where it's me and Mahershala, and he has a steady cam that he wanted to circle us and do a 360. To do that, he had to hide the crew. So I remember he hid the crew away. And so I'm standing there and I realize it's just me, the other actor, and a camera. And I realized I'd done this in 100 student and short films. That what I was about to do with Mahershala Ali was exactly what I'd done in all these other student films. And it just took the weight off and let me realize all those crew members, all the big pieces of equipment, that's irrelevant to our job as actors. Our job as actors is simply bring characters to life in an honest, truthful, and compelling way. And learning to do that in short films and student films is going to prepare you to do that in big budget films. Now, don't make the mistake I see so many actors make. They place all of their focus on acting classes. Notice how I listed acting talent last in my list of critical elements needed to succeed as a professional actor. That's because it's the least important. One of the mentors who helped me learn how to succeed in this industry was a hugely successful actor and TV producer named Bob Frazier. He taught me that the most important part of becoming a successful actor was your mindset, and the least important part was your talent. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't work to constantly improve your craft and become the best actor you can be, but that is not the secret to a successful acting career. We all know hugely successful actors who are lacking in the talent department, yet they make lots of money as actors. And I personally know a ton of actors who are amazing at their craft, and they're still waiting tables after 20 years of pursuing a career in acting. So I'm not saying don't train. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to make your talent as great as it could possibly be. But make sure that you're constantly focused on all 7 of the things I covered today. If you do that, you'll see your career start to take off. Be sure to check out these other videos to help you in your career path. If you learned something helpful in this video, be sure to subscribe to see more. Stay positive, work hard. I look forward to seeing you on set.